Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss about DNA damage. DNA damage is any kind of alteration in the chemical or physical structure of DNA molecule, such as break in a DNA strand or a base missing from a backbone and different other types of damages. DNA damage occurs by different ways, like we see DNA gets exposed to ionizing radiations. DNA molecule gets damaged via UV exposure too. Then there is a chemical exposure which tends to damage the DNA molecule also. And also there are internal ways that are present within the cell that damage the DNA molecule like replication errors. So all these ways lead to DNA damage in one way or the other, like breaking one strand or breaking both strands, or removing base from a strand, or dimerizing between the two bases. So with this DNA damage, it induces abnormalities in DNA molecule by which DNA is not able to function properly. And it must be made clear here that there is a difference between DNA damage and DNA mutation. Here we see DNA damage is a kind of physical or chemical damage to a DNA molecule, whether something gets added to it or deleted. Whereas DNA mutation can be attributed to a physical or chemical change rather than damage. So here we see it's a change. In DNA damage, we see it makes DNA molecule non-viable. So when DNA damage occurs, the DNA molecule is rendered useless within the cell. While as DNA mutation does not make DNA molecule non-viable. It still works, although it may differ from the normal DNA molecule, like it may produce non-functional protein in the end. In DNA damage, we see the replication, transcription, and translation is all halted. There is no flow of genetic information. Central dogma is not applicable here when there is a DNA damage. While as in DNA mutation, there is no halt in these processes. DNA damage is proceeded by DNA repair mechanisms to fix the issue in DNA molecule which has been damaged by endogenous and exogenous causes. While as DNA mutation, most of the times it evades the repair mechanism and the mutation remains in the DNA molecule. But all the times it does not evade, but most of the times it evades this repair mechanism. So it remains within the cell. Now let's see what are the sources of DNA damage. We classify the DNA damage sources in two categories on the basis of origin. First is endogenous sources, which happens to be the substance or a way which is present within the cell, and other being the exogenous sources, which are the external elements for DNA damage. First, let's see the endogenous ones. The first is ROS, or we can say reactive oxygen species, the free radicals in biological systems. Although these radicals are being made under the influence of exogenous elements like production of ROS by ultraviolet exposure, but still we count these ROS in endogenous sources. Second is replication error. So when the error occurs during replication process, whether base is missing or strand is not ligated, and all these factors lead to DNA damage. Third one is poor repair system. We know we have an inbuilt repair system for DNA damage within our cell, and when this repair system is poor to work properly, we are left with damaged DNA. So the damaged DNA is not able to get repaired again and again because there is a poor repair system present within the cell. Now let's look at exogenous sources. We see ultraviolet exposure is the exogenous sources. Ionizing radiations, X-rays, gamma rays, and other ionizing radiations are also the exogenous sources. Hydrolysis of DNA, there is a thermal disruption of DNA, and intercalating agents also tend to damage the DNA at a greater level. And there are also external biological agents like viruses which can damage the DNA. So these are some ways by which DNA is damaged. We have seen source of damage Now let's see what type of damage is done towards DNA molecule. First we see there is an oxidation of bases within the DNA molecule. Second one is alkylation of bases. Third one is hydrolysis of DNA molecule. Fourth one is mismatched bases. Fifth one is bulky adduct formation. And sixth one is DNA strand breaks by ultraviolet. All these types of damages will be discussed one by one in the next upcoming lectures. So I hope you like the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe this channel. And also do not forget to press that bell icon so that you may not miss a single notification from this channel. Thanks.